Okay, let me just change the mic as well. Okay, welcome everyone to the Friday's Market Wrap-Up by Bretton. My name is Kenny Simon. Today is the 27th of August, 2021. So we've got quite a number of things to discuss. Mainly, it's got to do with the Jackson Hole Symposium, because the whole market has been concentrated since the middle of the week, especially because we've got second day, I think, running on the symposium. I'm not sure whether it was, they've decided, I think, on a virtual one, the first one, but the second one, I'm not sure. So today is the second one with quite a number of things or agenda that they have as well right here. So here, I think there's a lot of concentration on topics that can actually be moving the market quite a bit, especially sentiments that affect the sentiments like gold and the US dollar and things like that. So here we've got the agenda for the 2021, and it says here hosted by the Federal Reserve of Kansas City, being held, yeah, it's confirmed. Even the second one is virtual as well. So here we have got it starting at 2 o'clock GMT, and then we have got, I think, throughout the day, it becomes a little bit more serious with fiscal and monetary policy and things like that in terms of the topic that will be discussed. So with that, usually, I think that would actually be quite volatile in terms of the market, because of all the markets would actually be sort of overlap at that time as well, like especially London Open and things like that. So this is basically the focus of attention as of today, especially the whole week actually on symposium. So we want to also look into the news impact. So the news would actually be the one that is impacting most of what is going to be happening at the moment. Okay, so this is basically it. Okay, so let's also take a look at gold. Here we have got some news on gold price outlook. It says here, this was yesterday's, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just go on to just daily effects, just to get a bit of an idea of what are the, we are talking about copper today as well, but this is not very much news oriented. But here we have got concentration and focus on CHF. So because of the symposium, it could probably be what do you call that, focus on safe haven like CHF as well. So here we have got also some impact on Australian dollars forecast, because on the economic calendar today we have got retail sales. It looks like it's negative 2.7% right there. I never look at the numbers, but because of the situation in Australia being not really good on COVID side of it, it sort of multiplied the impact on Australian dollar. And if we look at excuse me for that. We look at the currency heat map as well. On Australian dollar especially, you could see that it's picking up, perhaps corrective move. We are not sure yet, but still overall, it's not looking that good. And here, it might take time for Australian dollar to really recover as well. But we want to take a look at opportunities that we can actually spot today, as of today, especially on the short, medium term side of it as well, riding along what's going on in the Jackson Symposium. So this is one of the things that we want to take a look. I have looked at the action bias right here and notice that we have got a little bit of a clear trend on 3 time frames for EURGBP. So I want to take a look at EURGBP right there. That's the only one at the moment. So it could be hedging type trades by most of the traders as well. So here we want to look at How bullish is Euro compared to GBP? I mean, GBP pair seems to be going through some sort of bearish, some sort of reversal to the upside, but overall bearishness when we look at GBP across the board. So GBP across the board doesn't really look like it is bullish at all. It looks like it's got a lot of bearish type movement. GBPJPY seem to have loads of movements. We were riding it. At this moment of time, we are expecting a fall inside this box, within this black box that we have. We'll talk about it specifically later on. Euro GBP, as we can see right here, it's probably good for us to also look at Euro GBP, since this is being in focus as well in terms of trend, but we haven't checked the top 10. Let's look into top 10 movers as well. Okay, so here on the top 10 movers right there, it looks like we have got some focus on the CHF right there, but the one that has sort of 4 dot is the AUDUSD as well as AUDJPY. So I want to take note on that. So AUDUSD and AUDJPY, and majority of traders are actually starting to buy. So that's probably a reversal. We don't know that yet, or any hint. So we can see that it's a positive here as well, picking up. It's also a positive there, and it's being the first in the list in the top 10 movers to actually move to the upside, and then having traders, investors focusing on AUDUSD, and it is actually quite clear in terms of trend according to the top 10 movers on all 4 time frames, but we want to make sure of that. So I want to also take a look at AUDUSD. Let's see which one we can probably take. AUDUSD, EURGBP, AUDUSD. We want to also look into previous signals given for GBPUSD. So we want to go through that, selling opportunities on the GBPUSD. I've done not too bad yesterday riding this GBPUSD right here. So we can see I brought the equity up by I think almost 1,000 or something just yesterday, but I've traded about a lot to 2 lots on specific pairs as well. So, but it's been quite good with riding the GBP USD, especially to the downside. So yesterday itself, it looked quite good. I've traded 2 lots on each one right here. I think this is yesterday. Day before yesterday, gold, but yesterday was on GBP USD, as we can see on here, as well as GBP JPY. So it was good. The gold profited quite well, but that was day before yesterday. Okay. All right, so that's basically this is on a live account right here, and I've basically traded on what we have shared throughout the week. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. Now this is GBP USD. As we can see, so I'm just lining up AUDUSD right here to look at whether or not it's picking up as what we have actually seen in the top 10 movers. You know, how do we actually look at it in terms of trading it as well? And we will take a look at Euro GBP, GBP USD, gold as well, and a little bit on both crude and US oil, but we will cover that, of course, a lot more during Sunday session. It has been really good. So there's a lot of technical hints and tips that I want to actually share on Sunday as well, because it has been respecting psychological numbers really well on both oil, both Brent and WTI. US 30, we will look at questions as well if there are on US 30. AUDJPY has actually gone really well, going through all the parts that we have actually discussed. NZDJPY was a very good surprise, but it has actually respected all the zones and areas that we have laid out for 1.5 weeks. It has gone through it, go back up through it as well. As you can see, it's selling exactly on areas that we have mentioned on selling as well. Didn't go way up here yet, but this was what we have ridden along all the way down here, and then it reversed. For those who were trading the NZDJPY right to the D point there, you see how it actually reversed exactly at the D point as well, where there was a opening price of a bullish mother candle, took price up all the way. So there was a right along down to the downside from C to D of the pattern, but also on the sell signals that we have mentioned. So it both hit TPs there as well, but now it went all the way back up again, respecting that area as a resistance as well on the sales area. Okay, so that's quite a good one actually. So it was over 200 pips in profit on NZDJPY trading from the centroid area itself. So that was quite good. We will also be talking a little bit about, I think it was AUDJPY as well, that we want to visit on the on the top movers, especially with 4 dots on there. GBPJPY did really well for myself yesterday, as well as some traders on the sell side of it as well right there, and also it kept going back and forth in this zone, the blue zone as well on GBPJPY. It is at the moment going to the downside, and as I've mentioned, there's a lot of there's more bias to the downside for GBP crosses. So with that, we want to also be careful with gold, because there is a sort of correlation between GBP crosses and also gold. Okay. Okay, so that is just going through pairs that we might be looking at. I've also spotted quite a nice pattern on NZDUSD. Is a bearish geometric pattern right there. We can talk about it. I've also applied the Andrew Pitchfork indicator on it. Sometimes I do that. It looks like it, could give a better picture as well, especially on the channel. As you can see all this, how would the price roughly move inside within a channel. So that's quite good using the pitchfork, Andrew Pitchfork's what do you call that, indicator right here that you can get on your MT4, MT5, and that is basically where we get a better picture of how price can actually move in within a channel. And it is quite good sometimes to combine the pattern with the pitchfork as well, just provide a little bit of a solid structure and giving us a hint of how it would actually move in within a channel. So this is NZDUSD. Okay, so now let's get going and look at AUDUSD, whether or not we may have any sort of trading opportunities as of today, especially short term to medium term. Short term first, mainly because it's Friday. We want to mostly close or just exit early on our trades, not to actually leave trades to the weekend and experience the gap on a Monday. It's quite risky. So I would prefer to have short-term trades for myself. especially when Friday comes. Okay, so here on AUDUSD, as we can see, price is trading at 0.7251 at this moment of time. Now, if we want to create a bit of a story in terms of trend first, always we need to start off with trend. So if I were to look into the 30 minutes, what is happening at this moment of time? If it is 30 minutes, it's usually about 5 to 15 minutes. Actually, this is what it is. So you need to go one time frame down to just look at how far this movement is going to happen. So here, as we look at the 30 minutes, it is looking like it is appreciating in price, but we are exactly at 72.50 area of the psychological numbers. So maybe a reversal there. We don't know yet, but it could actually be just a spike upwards as well. We don't know that yet because at this moment in time, on the 30 minutes itself, for example, the three lines are just sideways, just pointing sideways at this moment of time, and it's not really clear. As you can see, it just go up there exactly at 72.50, just reversing now at the 30 minutes as we speak. So you can see that how prices are very sensitive with psychological numbers as well. But also with that, to the left, we can probably see, we got a bit of support, strong support there, became resistant. We also have lots of support right here. So the support here has become resistant. That is a hint that the market would like to actually reverse. There's probably a reversal capabilities more than it going up at this moment of time. So when I switch the time frame from 30 minutes, this is AUDUSD we're talking about, and then to 1 hour chart, you can actually see that the candles, the current candle itself, it's not really a very confident candle going upwards. You can see a little bit of a wick up there. So wick at the very top does actually give us hints of weakness at the very top as well. So we go on to higher time frame, and then we look at what's going on as well. Here, for example, in the 4 hour chart, it's probably a little bit clearer than the 1 hour chart in terms of which zone the current price is trading at. So if I go into the 4 hour chart, if I look to the left, it's quite clear. You go to the left a little bit, you have got a bearish candle right here, and this could give us a hint that at the moment the price is actually still trading in within a bearish zone. Even though it is actually to the upside, it looks like there may be a potential for a reversal as well, because it is actually in within a bearish zone. But as it goes upwards, it is also challenging the 72.50s area. Maybe it doesn't want to reverse as early as that, but it could potentially reverse at the 100 EMA, which is right here. Now, in within the red box itself, we may have a reversal, a market with the yellow here, and that is there. I'll make the line a little thinner so it's more sensitive to the price. Okay, so there you go. Now, here we have price. There could actually be a bit of a reversal happening there in within the box. So may not want to reverse at this moment of time, but in within the box itself, we have got some reversal capability, either at the end of that bullish candle right there, as you can see, or this one right here. But it is quite close as well. It is still at 72.65 area on this horizontal line. So in other words, if it does not want to reverse at the moment, now at 72.50s area, it most probably would reverse here at the 72.64 or 72.65 area, together with this area right here as well, which is at 72.67 area. So that line right there is where reversal could actually happen. And the reason for that as well is it is trading in within the red box. Reversal for correction. Reversal, yes, because all this movement was up. So then It looks like a continuation, not a reversal, because if we look at the 4-hour chart, you can see that it went down here, went up there. So even though it goes up and then it comes down, it might, the way down is actually a continuation of trend, because all this trend is to the downside previously, and you can see it's quite smooth and quite big as well, the fall previously right here. So this was the correction. This whole move to the upside is a corrective move of this downtrend that has actually happened. If we go into the daily chart as well, you can see it's very clear, this whole big downtrend, right? So this downtrend now, whatever move that is going upwards at this moment of time, even the current candle as well, is just giving us hint of a reversal. This is the reversal. The reversal is the upward move. So anything that's going up for AUDUSD looks like a reversal. But then when it comes downwards again, then it would be a continuation of the previous trend. So the trend overall is still down. The reversal is actually the upside move, is the reversal. Okay. So I see the potential of more sell. So at this moment of time, if I were to be trading the AUDUSD, I wouldn't be looking at the upside or buying opportunities at all, even though it is actually going up, because the trend overall is to the downside. So I would probably like to ride the trend and benefit from the sell much more than I want to benefit from the buy, because the buy, if you're actually going into the buy at this moment of time, it is not wrong. A lot of people, a lot of traders would actually be trading on a short term, for example, riding along excuse me, riding along what is going on at this moment of time. If you are riding along, let's say on 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, especially, and you're riding along what is happening at that moment of time, it is not trend trading. It is just trading, following what is going on at that moment of time. So the trend overall for AUDUSD is still to the downside. It is reversing at the moment to the upside, but I expect it to reverse at these yellow lines at the 7267, 68 area. And once it starts to reverse, and it does actually reverse at that area, then I will consider looking at the sell side of it. So I might want to enter 65 onwards once it starts to come downwards. And then we want to look at the current bearish candle, how strong it is. Then if it does, then it might mirror that bearish candle again. Then I can actually take some trades, some pips from that area right there. But it has to reverse first and then come down here to make a little bit over 20 pips or so, and that is just like a test, just to see whether or not we have more participation by the sellers, because on the 4-hour chart, this area here is quite sensitive as well, because this is where the 50 exponential moving average is as well. We have got support as well right here. So this opening price of this bearish candle, closing price of this bearish candle right here could also be support as well. So we don't know that yet, so we need to exit there. So here, for example, maybe it is not an ideal selling because it's too small, but there is some opportunity right here, but not right now. But this is selling opportunity for me, not buying opportunity. But there are a lot of traders who would like to ride this candle right now because it's going up and stuff like that, and they want to buy. And it's not wrong to do that either, but you just have to be careful with the exiting. Where are you exiting? You need to exit at the 0.7266 area or before that. Here, these two lines. And for me as a trend trader, I would rather take the sell. So I will wait until it goes up to the two lines, reverse, and then I sell. And then I want to see whether I can sell more after it breaks out from this red box right here. So this red box itself at the end is 72.42. So 72.42 at 72.40 itself, it's a good selling trigger price as well. But if I go into the daily chart, I want to look at whether or not beyond this red box, beyond this red box, do we actually have power? There is power, but the power is a little bit lower. As you can see, the longer bearish candle is a little bit lower. We've got a bit of power right there, but not too much. So there is a bit of a bullish, not bullish, support area. I will mark it with the blue line right here. Take that through, and we can see it's around there. That is 72.32 as well, so it's not really. Give me a second. 72.31 area, then go on here. Let me just show you where would ideal price of sell would actually be much more and a little bit better would actually be here at this opening price of this bearish candle right there. That's 72.25. So I would think 72.10 area would actually be good to sell much more, and more participation of sellers would actually be there. So 72.10, 72.10, 72.10. Okay, there you go. I'll just go back to the 4-hour chart, and then we can look at it in this angle. So here, this is where I would actually look into selling much more, is the 72.10 area, which is way down here. A little bit of selling inside the box, about 20 pips or so. Yes, it's possible after it has gone and reversed, because we need to know what is the catalyst to pull the price down, if there is any. At this moment of time, it's reversing to the upside, but overall trend is to the downside. So I would like to only take the sell side of it. So I want to plot all the areas that I can actually sell. You see, so this 72.10 right here could be an entry trigger price, and this is based on this mother candle right here. So I would like to trade finishing of this mother candle here, for example. That would actually be your support area. Let's see. Now that support area is at 71.45, close to 71.50. So 71.60 would probably be your exit price. That is for the later term, not just now, but that is where we have got a sell zone right there as well. So because the market is showing us the potential of a sell zone there, so that could actually be a pending order there as well, just to park the position for your selling opportunity right there. Okay, and this one here is selling at 72.10, pending order basically 0.7210, and then you want to exit at 7160. So that this area right here is most probably giving us the potential of about, not too much, about 50 pips or so. Okay, good question right there. 72.10, yes. You enter at 72.10 because you are actually following the 72.20 psychological level, because we can actually sell at the beginning of this mother candle right here, for example. But this is a second round. This is a second round pending order. Your first round where you can actually start selling is at 72.65. But after the price has actually gone up to that level and retreat, if not, we don't do any selling yet inside this first box. Because we want to look at whether or not we have sellers pulling down the price or not. Because what if it actually goes up here and then something happens in the news to actually encourage positivity for the Australian dollar and then shoots up there, you see? So that's why we want to always let the market give us the path, whether or not it wants to reverse there. If it starts to go up here and reverse, at least with 1 or 2 candles, then 1 or 2 candles in the short term, then we can actually see it coming down here, but we won't be making a lot of you know, a lot of pips there, maybe 10, 15 pips or so would probably be potential right here, right? But then at least it is going to give us the indication that it has sellers coming in here, especially if the sellers comes in here and then reverse the price from the top there and bring it down. It has more potential to burst out and break out from this red box. Then we know it has more potential to reach the second box to come into the sell zone here. Then we can take a bigger 50 pips right here. Okay, because we've got all this power of sales right here. So it has to be driven by the news as well. So we need to know what kind of news would actually be driving what direction of the market. So at this moment of time, there is no big news to tell us that it is going up all the way. It may only be a correction to go upwards. Okay. Okay, that's basically it. That's for AUD/USD. Okay. So there you go. Now, once it has actually corrected and basically become stronger on the downside and coming downwards here, maybe entering the second, then it would probably be good for us to start to draw from this point or this point, the ABCD bearish pattern, you see. So because here, for example, if it stays here as a C point, then this is my A, this is my B, my C here. Then this is a 61.8% C point. Then I can see that I can draw a nice line and then determine the centroid as well, you see. So at this moment of time, not just yet. So there is a potential, if at all it reverses there, for us to draw a nice ABCD pattern and target even more down here for the price fall of AUD/USD. But we are not based on only technical. We need the fundamental as the fuel to push and pull the price downwards. Okay, so here, for example, in this area right here, we do have some selling pressure, but not too much until the end. So we need to probably exit a little bit earlier as well for the sell. So we need to marry up properly and monitor the market as well. So maybe I won't take as far as this area right here, but we have bearish candle power only until this blue line right here, not until the very end right here, you see. So on the bearish, on the very long term, on the weekly, yes, we can see there is some power to go downwards, but we want to also look at the daily chart and the 4-hour chart to see areas like this. So that comes later on when we plan further, if it falls further as well for AUD/USD. But as of now, we want to, based on 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, to actually look at selling opportunity, but until it reverses first. That means go up and then come down first, break out of this one here, then we might then see bearish opportunity for AUD/USD. Okay, so that's AUD/USD. Now let's look at AUDJPY as well. Now AUDJPY looks like on the 4-hour chart, it's on the way to the upside, right? So a lot of very short-term trader, they say, oh, it's uptrend, uptrend. You know, this is where we make a lot of mistakes because it is not the trend, it is just the current moves at this moment of time with a single candle. But what I can see on the 4-hour chart, it is actually trading in between the 50 and the 100 EMA, which is very risky sideways type trend movement. So there's no trend really. It's just an impulsive move with a single candle going to the upside with a limit at this area right here. So the 80.00 area, I would think, would actually be very, very risky area for, because you see it's 80.01, right? So 80.00 psychological level with all this area right here. So now it's trading at 79.80 psychological number as well. So it can actually reverse anywhere now or a little bit later, but at the 80.00 area as well. So here, based on 4-hour itself, it looks very unpredictable for AUDJPY. You know, a lot of traders, what they want to do is they just want to trade. So they will take this trade they want to buy, and then maybe they will be good enough to actually look at this as a resistance, so they will take a little bit of pips and exit. But sometimes, not all traders can actually beat that temptation to actually not exit early or take care of their exits, because exits are more important than your entries. Okay, that's your determinant, or what determines your success as well as your profits at the end of the day. Net profit is your exits, not your entries. Okay, so that's basically it. Your exit decision also includes cutting your losses early as well. Okay, there you go. So this is for AUDJPY. I have highlighted this area as a red box, mainly because of all these movement to the downside, all these candles, powerful bearish candles to the upside. Now we can see that price did go up, and then now, got a bit of reversal and stuff like that based on this. So it is still trading inside a bearish zone. So I'll clear up this one here. This is for AUDJPY. Okay, if we look into short time frames, or the lower time frames, 30 minutes, for example, it's very clear. It is trading number one at the 79.80 psychological level. When you look to the left itself, you can see you have got opening price of a bearish mother candle right here. And then when you look at the current candle movement itself, it has got a wick to the upside. And that basically, when there is a wick to the upside, there is weakness to be expected to the upside as well. And that does actually marry very well with all this area of resistance right here. So it's not really looking very good to the upside. So that's where traders sometimes they make the mistake. They look at all this current movement and they say it's uptrend, and they start to buy, but they don't look to the left right here. And then this, what has happened in the at the left side of it is what would probably be reversing this movement. You see, and also on the current time frame, it is just the current price, so is just at the psychological level of 80 as well. So if we go onto the 1 hour chart, you can see that movement right there, but the current price is exactly on the opening price of that mother candle right there, as well as on the psychological level. Very, very risky, not a good area at all to actually trade. Price action wise, very sensitive. Possible reversal as well. So if we use the indicator stochastic oscillator, just to give it an idea whether or not we can see some reversal, some divergence or not. So let's see whether we have anything there. Now it's quite clear divergence as well, because you see the current price is here, current price is here, right? This peak and this peak. Now this peak, let's say this peak here to the current price is a slope going downwards, right? So that is a lower high. Now this one here is higher high, right? So you can see a very clear divergence right here. So when we marry this indicator with price action, with psychological number as well, then it gives us the hint that it's very likely to want to reverse, meaning that it's going up right now, it may want to reverse to the downside. So where could it potentially reverse? Is quite easy. It's either right now at the 79.80 psychological level, because we do have all this bearish candle, or if it wants to go up a little bit more, then it's got this area that it might want to reverse, which is the opening price of that bearish mother candle coming downwards, and that is at 79.90. So the most it can actually do is just to go over this area, but then start to reverse at that area instead, 79.90. Okay, so that is basically it. So I think it would actually reverse. So what does that mean? Is that for AUDJPY, the downside would probably be better traded than the upside. Okay, so the downside would probably be better, not the upside, also because it is in within these two lines right here, the 50 and the 100 EMA as well. So it is trading in within this zone, very, very sensitive area. But what I can see potentially happening is that for it to go up there and respect this very strong resistant area, and once it does that, let me just put it as red right here. So here I moved that one up right there, highest body, and also take into consideration all these wicks here as well. And that area between 80.01 and 80.09 could potentially be a very strong resistant area right there. So it might want to go up there. Worst case scenario, it goes up there at 79.90, doesn't reverse, but then most likely will reverse at the 80.01 to 80.09 area right there. Okay, so once it goes up there and then reverse down, then we look into selling opportunity. Then I think selling opportunity is actually a little bit lower, and that would actually be in within this candle right here, bearish candle right here. Oops. And that is a little bit lower here. So the selling would probably start to enter the red box at the 79.70 onwards can start selling. So the starting selling price would probably be better at 79.70 onwards. And then the support would probably be to exit before it reaches here at 79.30 area or so. So can exit there. So it's about 40 pips to make on that side of it. So here, there you go. So that is the selling zone that I'll be looking at to sell. So now it's a little bit too early. Let it go up first and then confirm to us that the market wants to reverse at this area. Once it starts to reverse, then we know that we have got sellers coming into the market. And once sellers comes into the market, and then we know that we can actually sell as well once it enters into this selling zone at 79.70 onwards. So we can actually park a pending order at 79.70, and then we can actually exit or put our TP at 79.35. Okay, right here. So there you go. We've got that area there as a sell zone or selling opportunity zone right there. Okay, but not just yet. That is a pending order type selling opportunity. Okay, that's basically it. Oil will discuss a lot more on Sunday because I want to also look at how the symposium ending today would actually be impacting US dollar, US Treasury, everything else as well. And then that could actually then be reflected into this area a little bit better. Into the movement of oil prices. Then you got US oil right here, the same as well, but we want to discuss all these very sensitive touch points technically as well, price action using psychological numbers as well for both Brent and US oil on Sunday. Okay, let's see. I'm not actually looking at any other opportunities at this moment of time, but I want to look at AUDUSD as I have already discussed, as well as AUDJPY. So AUD crosses and then your EURGBP right here, not just yet because the market hasn't marinated the price just yet, but what I can actually see is it may want to go into a little bit of a bearish run, mainly because it has reversed very nicely here and it's already in within a bearish zone right here. So that is basically what I see happening is for the downside to happen on the euro versus the GBP. Okay, so it has some support action right here. So might want to reverse there, and if not, it might want to reverse a little bit earlier, following this mother candle right here at 85.67 area. So, but it is on the way to the downside a little bit on the Euro GBP. But it is a little bit tricky, this one. So we want to be careful with this trade on Euro GBP. Okay, not just yet, because we've got some expected how you call that, expected event as well, Friday. So here we have got some string of euro from France and Italy and Germany as well, but they seem to be on the low category, meaning low volatility or low impact. But because it's collectively, we want to be also careful because the symposium has got global topics discussed as well, so that will ripple effect everywhere, including Europe, Asia, everywhere else. So it's going to be impacting everything, so we need to be very, very careful. We've also got some data from the US as well, and this is going to be quite important, especially at the Jackson Hole Symposium, after everybody have actually spoken, and then you have the Federal Chairman Powell's speech as well. So that will actually rock the market a little bit more. Okay. All right, so I think that's all I have for you guys. I think we have not really gone through gold so much, but Sunday I want to cover it a little bit better and a little bit deeper, together with both fundamental and technical, because I have already seen quite nice patterns are actually just started to sort of marinate and mature a little bit more. So I want to talk about that, especially crude, Brent, and oil, these three. So it will be good to actually catch up on that and give you that presentation on Sunday on this. But just a little sneak preview, we have got quite a nice nice tight triangle that is actually going on at this moment of time. Right here, this is the trend line that cuts from the top, but then all these bearish movement right here has been reversed very strongly, and then it has cut that trend line quite clearly as well, which basically we'll see to another reversal, but coming back here to make it a support. And if that does actually happen, then we are expecting some very good movement to the upside. But we want to also look at GBP crosses, because they are quite correlated between gold and the GBP. Okay. All right. Any questions at all? Any questions? No questions? Then we'll end the session for today, and we'll make that coverage on gold and oil on Sunday. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gunan. Okay, good. So with that, I would like to thank you guys, and wish you guys have a fantastic weekend and rest well. And we'll, for the guys who are, for those of you who are attending the Sunday session, please do, and we will see you guys on Sunday as well. Okay. All right, guys, take care. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.